Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm here to talk about something a little off the beaten track of what I normally read. It is one that I did a buddy read with my friend Samantha. She's the one that wanted me to read it. Um, I had never heard of it, but I said, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. The book is called Assistant to the Villain. I hope I don't murder this name. Hannah Nicole Maehrer, something like that. Sorry if I blew it. This is her first novel. The second novel is supposed to be titled Apprentice to the Villain, according to Goodreads. And the third novel has not yet been titled, although it is listed in Goodreads. So I read this as a Kindle download. I didn't want to spend the money on a book that I just had no idea. I mean, it's a genre and an author and a whole book that I really didn't know if I was going to like this at all. There was a good chance that I was going to go, I hate this thing, forget it. So I was taking a risk on it, and I didn't want to spend money on a physical book for that reason. And I still don't have a physical book. I'll get into that in a little bit. What the story is about. You have a woman, she's, this is in like a medieval style fantasy world. She's a daughter in a family, and her family's not doing well, and she needs to go out and get a job to get some money coming in. So she's heading to town to look for work, and she's going through the woods, and she literally runs into this guy. They both knock each other down. Okay, the story is a comedy, and it's good as a comedy too. It works as a comedy. It has some funny moments. It's some of the comedy in it is a little like seriously, but mostly it's fun and enjoyable. It's okay. And so it does kind of seem to pattern itself off of the Princess Bride. So this isn't a Lord of the Rings kind of fantasy. This isn't really even a Sarah J. Maas kind of fantasy. It's more like Princess Bride. But I'm going to venture a guess that Princess Bride fans, while they may like this novel, they're not going to think it's better than Princess Bride. So anyway, she actually knocks this guy down in the woods, and that's when he finds out people are chasing her. And I forget exactly how it went, but she basically helps him avoid the people that are trying to kill him, and they get away. And so then they get to talking. She explains she needs a job desperately, and he offers her a job because he's like super rich because he's a villain and he's stealing from everybody. And she has qualms about that, but she takes the job and works for him. And um, well, they eventually do. They at first they hate each other, but they eventually do get into a romance. This is a young adult romantasy. It does not get into any explicit sex. So it's definitely clean enough to trust with your teenager or preteen reading it. They'll enjoy it. Adults that want something more like A Court of Mist and Fury, you're not going to find it here. This is going to be cleaner. This is going to be more like Throne of Glass, only without the darkness. So I guess that's kind of what I think of the story too. It's a good book. It's a fun book. It's not split your sides Monty Python hilarious. It's just fun. It's funny. It has its funny times. Some of the jokes fall flat, but it's written in a very easy to read style. I felt like, and this was actually something I didn't really care for. I mean, I'm one of those old timers that likes their fantasy to sound like old English, um, and be overwritten. This one was written in very plain, modern, street English, and so there's nothing that there aren't any there isn't any of the writing that's going to be a problem for anybody to read. It's going to be very easy to read, very easy to understand. It moves along very fast. It's fast-paced story, well-paced story. It's solid writing, but I don't think this is going to win any awards. It was a finalist for the Goodreads um, awards for 2023 in the fantasy category. It did not win, but it was a finalist. It did get that far, which I thought was pretty remarkable. I think there are much stronger books that were published in the fantasy genre in 2023. But that's not to say that this is not a good book. If you like romantasy and you want something a little more young adult, this is a perfect book for you. It's fun, it's funny, it's got some romance going on. It's definitely aimed at that target market. So it wasn't aimed at me. I'm not part of their target market really, and that's why I don't have a physical copy. I don't want to hang on to it, but I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm more Isaac Asimov, Arthur Clarke, and so this was a side departure for me, and it was worth it. It was fun. I liked it. I don't know if I'll continue with the series. Probably if Samantha comes and says we got to read book two, I'll probably cave. But um, if she doesn't, I won't seek it out on my own. It just wasn't. It didn't blow me away or anything. So, have you read Assistant to the Villain? I know a lot of our typical Telltale Books viewers would not have read a book like that. Um, but if you have, please leave your comments. I want to hear them. I want to hear what you think about this book. And otherwise, like the channel, or I should say, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come on back for more. Probably not more by this author, but definitely a lot more of a wide variety of stuff coming down the lane for Telltale Books.